On July 10, 1943, 2,590 Allied vessels waited off the coast of Sicily. On board were 181,000 troops. It was the largest amphibious operation to date. By the finish of the bloody Italian campaign, more than 92,000 Canadians had played a part. Yet it remains relatively unheralded, overshadowed by the drama of D-Day. The Allies advanced quickly through Sicily, taking thousands of Italian prisoners and driving the Germans north. They thought Italy would fall easily. They were wrong. At Ortona, the Germans dug in. The loyal Edmonton Regiment's D Company was shredded on the outskirts of town. Down to 17 men, they managed to fight their way through to an apartment building where they gained the high ground and dispersed the Germans, opening the door for the Allies. "We fought from house to house and from room to room," said Morris White, a veteran of the campaign. "We had to blow holes through one room to another, and then we'd throw a grenade in to make sure there were no Germans inside. It was the only way we could make progress." The march through Italy left ruined towns and thousands of dead. "Whole towns and villages have disappeared except for ugly piles of rubble," wrote Lieutenant Charles Sidney Frost of Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. South of Rome was the Hitler Line. Approaching at the Seaforth Highlanders, loyal Edmonton's and Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry were cut down by machine gun fire. 800 Canadians gave their lives. But the line was breached, and the Allies entered Rome on June 4, 1944, triumphant. But less than 48 hours later, the Normandy invasion began, and the Italian campaign was all but forgotten. The Canadians pushed on to the heavily fortified Gothic Line. They punched through, but at great cost. In the end, there were 26,254 Canadian casualties in the Italian campaign. Some of the men were there for 20 months, fighting the increasingly desperate Germans. Three Canadians were awarded the Victoria Cross. Ernest "Smoky" Smith was one of them. He became the last surviving recipient of the Victoria Cross, dying in 2005. As 1945 began, the Allies in Italy expected no more great gains and turned their attention to northwestern Europe. That's where most of the Canadians headed next, for a fight that would lead to the end of the war.